crafting a clear vision for your life isn't just about knowing where you're going. It's also about knowing where you're not going. I want you to leave this video having a crystal clear idea of what it is that you actually desire. Not on a surface level, but on a deep soul aligned level, meaning your actual true desires. Because most of us aren't fully aware of what those things actually are, what that vision for our life actually is. Having a clear vision, knowing where you're going, as well as knowing where you're not going, allows you to have control over how you are going to get from point A to point B without having things unfold in a chaotic way. If you don't have this clear vision, you are living your life and not even sure what all of your creator power, which we are naturally gifted with as creators, as natural born manifestors on this planet, in this life, you aren't harnessing all of that power that you could be and putting it towards the vision that you have designed for yourself. Instead, you're going to be manifesting, you're going to be creating a reality for yourself that doesn't really have any clear direction. You are going to be more influenced from outside influences than you will be influencing your outside reality from your own internal decision making. Whether you know what you want or not, this video is going to help you to get even more clear and in even deeper alignment with what those desires are. I want you to open to infinite possibilities of desire and really let your soul lead you in discovering what it is that you truly want. And again, having this clear vision, having this clear concept of exactly where you want to go and also where you don't want to go is going to help you to create like a roadmap where you can consciously and intentionally create the life that you actually desire every single step of the way. I'm a huge fan of a game plan, a manifestation game plan. Such a huge fan that I've even made an entire program about it, Scale, if you aren't familiar with it, but we will be talking about it throughout this episode because it is opening for enrollment again on February 29th through March 17th. I'll link the waitlist down below for you. But I've experienced the benefits of having a clear, solid vision and a clear, solid game plan to help me to walk out that vision and actually attain it in my reality. So much so that I created an entire program to help teach you how I've done it in my own life, how I've seen other people successfully do it in their own life as well through years and years of studying successful people and working with my own students and clients for their manifestation goals. And so I want to give you a slice of that over the next 3 weeks in this 3-week challenge that I am kicking off today with today's video. And we're going to call this the Scale Challenge. So today is the official kickoff of our 3-week manifestation, next level self, glow up challenge series that you can consider like a mini snippet of what is inside my master plan, manifestation, mindset, and success course Scale that I have intentionally created for you to help you to up level your life and self and set you up for total success in your manifestations by the end of these 3 weeks. So if you were looking for a New Year glow up, this is it. The purpose of sharing this challenge with you is that I believe that we get to constantly, consistently, and sustainably scale our lives in every area. I believe that every year, every month even, gets to be an up level. And this up level, this growth in ourselves and our success gets to be holistic, meaning that it doesn't just happen in one area. You don't just have to focus on succeeding at your goals in your health or succeeding at your goals with your work or your goals with your finances or your goals with your relationship. You get to grow holistically the full picture and scale your success in every area of your life all the time. And you get to do it in a way that actually feels good and is uniquely designed for you to work with you. That is what scale is all about. And like I said, I want to give you a taste of what scale is all about over these next 3 weeks in this challenge, where even if you aren't to continue on and decide to go deep in this transformation this year and enroll in this next round of scale, that will be opening and accepting new students February 29th through March 17th. Even if you don't choose to enroll into this round of scale, I promise you, by the end of these 3 weeks, you will feel transformed, you will feel up-leveled, and you will have a plan in place for your glow up this year and be well on the way to already living it. Okay, so let's talk about why I'm calling this a challenge and what really makes this a challenge for you. I want to make this fun for you and gamify your self-development transformation over these next 3 weeks by asking you to really challenge yourself to watch all of the videos and complete all of the corresponding workbooks that will be released with each video. My cat is just being cute over there. But yes, so that means that I will be creating a workbook to go along with each video that you will be watching over the next 3 weeks. This way you aren't just hearing me talk about these concepts, but I want to empower you to actually be applying them in your real life and working through these exercises, these prompts, these meditations as we go along this 3-week journey together. So I want you to commit to yourself right now as you're watching this that you are going to be committed over the next 3 weeks, starting today with episode 2 releasing February 29th and episode 3 releasing March 7th. I think those are the dates. That you will be watching each new episode and diving into each new workbook every single week, completely applying yourself to this 3-week glow up. Okay? I've even made you a little bingo card to play along with to make this even more fun. And like I said, workbooks to actually help you apply everything that we will be covering in this challenge. Also, if you're watching this live as each episode is coming out, then we're doing this as a community, which makes this really fun and really exciting for me, as one of my biggest intentions in 2024 is really forming more of this sense of community. It'll also make it way more fun for you because you'll have this sort of community that's going through the exact same transformation that you're going through over these next 3 weeks to support you, cheer you on, and motivate you all along the way. So with that said, I want to make this interactive for you and for everyone doing this challenge with you by really encouraging you to be interactive in the comments. Share your experience, share your breakthroughs, share what you uncover through each episode and the exercises that we go through within it, and also support others that you see in the comments too and cheer them on and help them along their journey as well. This is going to be a fun way for us to connect. I've said in my last episode too, I want this comment section to be like a manifestation portal. So all of us putting all of our good energy in this comment section, unafraid to share our visions, to share our biggest hopes and dreams, and cheering each other on, reminding each of us what is possible for us, and encouraging ourselves and others to dream big and to make these manifestations happen. This is my goal for this comment section beyond this challenge, but especially during this challenge. Let's be interactive in it. Let's cheer each other on and make this your manifestation portal of good energy. Okay? Also, I've created a hashtag for you to use anytime you're sharing any part of this challenge on socials so that it can make it easier for me as well as everybody else doing this challenge with you to find you. And that hashtag is #Arcanum Scale Challenge. And like I said, this challenge is acting as a kickoff to my mindset, manifestation, and success course Scale. So to make this challenge even more exciting and more enticing for you to be fully committed to, I'm actually going to give one of you full free access to this new round of Scale. I've never done this before, so I'm really, really excited to offer you this. But there are rules to being considered to win this challenge. So here are the rules to win. And these rules will also be listed out for you in the episode 1 workbook, which is linked in the episode notes for you. All you need to do is just type in your email and then you will get access to this workbook. And in every episode of this challenge, there will be a corresponding notebook in the episode show notes. So each time you will just have to repeat the process, type in your email, and get access to that workbook. And you do not want to miss out on these workbooks because they're really, really good. I said it before and I'll say it again. In 2024, we aren't just learning information, we are applying it. And these workbooks are for your implementation of everything that you are learning here in these videos so that you can actually take these concepts and apply them to yourself and your own unique manifestations. Okay, so don't miss that part. It's very important to your overall glow up in these next 3 weeks. Okay, now with all of that out of the way, let's get into the juice of what episode 1 of this Scale Glow Up Challenge is all about. This is actually one of my favorite topics to dive into, so I'm super excited to be kicking us off here. Plus, I can't think of a better way to set you up for success than first setting you up with your expansive AF, soul aligned AF, next level vision. Plus, this is just really fun stuff to do and think about and craft, and you are going to love the exercise that I have for you. After this episode, I am sure that you will understand your dreams, your goals, and your desires from a whole new perspective and see how wanting what you want is actually a spiritual experience. So today, we are starting off by getting clear on the question, what do you want? And as we work through this and you get this clarity, I'm sure you will naturally also begin to get clear on who you want to be, which is great because that is what we are going into next week, all on identity, next level self embodiment, and crafting your avatar, alter ego, glowed up version of yourself that you will begin embodying now. But first, we've got to get that vision made. So let's get into it. So why is having a vision so important? Like I mentioned, having clarity on where you are going and why is going to help you to align with every single decision you make, every single thing you do, every way that you act, that you be, everything that you decide and how you move on a daily basis. You are able to hold up to, is this in alignment with where I want to go or is it not? When we don't have a vision, when we don't have an idea of what we want and where we want to go, I see it as we're just kind of floating around haphazardly making decisions and doing things, and we don't really have a clear direction of how all of these things are going to add up and where they're going to lead us to in 6 months, a year, 5 years. But the truth is that all of your actions, all of your decisions, everything that you do is adding up to lead you to your future, which is your vision that you are crafting now. And if that's how you want to live your life, completely in flow and just letting it unfold, by all means, go crazy. But if you're someone who knows that you want to achieve certain things, maybe you don't even know what those specific things are, but maybe you have an idea of a sort of lifestyle that you want to live, or you have an overall understanding of maybe what you want your life to look like. You want to make sure that you are moving in accordance to making that a reality. And that all starts now. If you're someone too who isn't clear on what that vision is, isn't clear on where you want to go, but you know that you want to be, this episode is going to greatly help you. I like to think of a vision as like a location that you type into a GPS, right? You would never get in the car and set your location as, I don't know, and just see where you end up. I mean, maybe you would, that sounds pretty fun. But for the most part, we kind of know that there's a place that we want to go and we want to know how to get there. So consider crafting your vision as deciding where you want to go in your GPS. Now, I want to make it clear as well that this doesn't mean that we don't flow as we're also creating this vision. This doesn't mean that your vision is set in stone and that you can't ever change it or that it can't evolve as you evolve. It absolutely can. And it probably will. What I thought I wanted 10 years ago or 5 years ago is different than what I want now. And I've let that all unfold naturally as I've continued to flow with what has felt soul aligned to me at each new chapter of my life. So don't let this be something that overwhelms you, where you feel like it has to be perfect and it has to be set in stone now. The vision that you will create is like your boundaries, like your guidelines. Like I said, it will give you something to hold up to when you are making decisions, when you are choosing how you want to show up day to day. You will be able to ask yourself, does this align to where I want to go? Is this helping me to move the needle towards the future and the reality and the life and self that I want to create? Or is it not? And that will make your decision making a lot easier for you. Also, understanding the why is huge. So as I said, although my vision has changed, often the why doesn't change as much. There's usually a greater purpose of why we want these things, right? You think that you want this thing, but really you want what that thing will give to you. So a big and important question to ask ourselves is, why do I want this? Why do I want this vision? What does it give to me? How does it actually fulfill me on a deep level? For example, if you think you want X amount of money in the bank account, the question of why is likely because you want to feel freedom, you want to feel security, you want to feel safety, you want to feel expansiveness, abundance, right? So there's this deeper tie to the experience. There's a deeper emotion surrounding what that thing is than the actual thing itself. The thing itself, the physical thing that you are manifesting, if it is a thing that you're manifesting, may change, it may evolve, it may grow, expand, or turn into something new altogether. But usually our whys, when we can connect to our whys, these whys stay the same because there's a purpose tied to it. There's a soul alignment tied to what is within that why. And we're going to go very deep into soul alignment and creating a soul aligned vision in today's episode. So I've got you with that. Now, like I said, just as important as it is to have a clear vision of where you're going, right? That ending location in the GPS, it's also important to know where you're not going. So in the workbook, I'm going to help you to create an anti-vision as well. And an anti-vision is exactly like it sounds, a vision that you don't want, the opposite of the vision that you are manifesting. So why is creating an anti-vision so important? It's important for you to know that people are either towards or away motivated, or some mixture of both, which is most of us. So while your vision that you are crafting here now, your vision that is made up of your desires and where you want to go for your future, right? That end location in the GPS. While this is motivating you to go towards something, to achieve something, to manifest a certain level of success, your anti-vision is helping to motivate you away from something. So people who are motivated towards achieving that success, towards that vision. People who are away motivated are actually more motivated by the fear of the anti-vision. They are more motivated to get away from either their current circumstance or what they fear may become their current circumstance should they stay on the same path they are on, or worse. An anti-vision is very valuable to create awareness around why it is so important for you to actually go after your goals, go after your dreams and desires, and go after them now. What the anti-vision makes clear is, although maybe your current circumstance is fine, maybe it's not what you want, what you desire, it's not that vision that you desire to manifest, but it's comfortable. You've lived it this long, right? But what the anti-vision will help to highlight is that although you may be comfortable in this reality that you are living now, you may not desire it, but you're comfortable. If you stay the same, if you do not commit to yourself, commit to this 3-week challenge, right? Commit to your goals and actually doing the inner work and the outer work to manifest them, to make them a reality, this anti-vision shows you where the perpetuation of your current experience, so continuing to live life the way you have up until this point, will get you 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. And then it's not so comfortable anymore. It's not so much of an enticing experience to stay in this current reality. And it's a hell of a lot more motivating to start to move towards manifesting that vision. So whether you feel that you are more towards motivated or away motivated, creating this anti-vision alongside creating your soul aligned vision that we are creating here is really going to help you to feel extra motivated towards committing to yourself and committing to the future, the glow up, the up level that you are creating now. So steps to creating that anti-vision will be outlined for you in the episode 1 workbook, again, linked in the episode notes. So now you understand what an anti-vision is, let's start creating your soul aligned vision. By the time that we're done here, you will be relating to your vision and your desires in a completely different way than you ever have before. I'm going to open you up to exploring possibilities of desire, taking yourself beyond the boundaries that you may have unknowingly kept yourself in up until this point to really uncover what it actually is that is soul aligned to you, what you truly desire on a deep level that when manifested will fulfill you, and even the path to manifesting it will be fulfilling and aligned to you, and likely opened so many other doors of possibility and alignment along the way. So let's get into this. First of all, if you have ever been the person who has ever said that you do not know what you want, I want you to throw out that narrative completely right here, right now, because all that you are doing by affirming that reality, and that's what it is, that is telling yourself literally an affirmation. I don't know what I want. That is an affirmation that you are repeating over and over to yourself. And all that is doing is perpetuating the reality of confusion around what you actually want and where you want to go. If you feel called out by this, good. I want you to, and I want you to decide to change it now. So you are going to replace this old affirmation of I don't know what I want with the new affirmation of I am so clear and so solid on the direction that my soul is calling me to go. Every single day, my vision for my dream life that I'm manifesting now gets clearer and clearer. Okay, so the next time you want to tell yourself, I don't know what I want, or I don't know, affirm that instead. And if you are one of these people who feels like you don't know what you want, I want to ask you, have you ever let yourself explore desire with zero boundaries? Meaning, have you ever let yourself go beyond what maybe you've thought is possible for you, or maybe what you've seen normalized in your reality? Have you ever let your mind open to expansive, limitless, to really explore all the possibilities of what you really can create in this life? Maybe you just haven't let yourself expand to the level of awareness of the life that truly is meant for you yet. And here's what I want you to know about desire and the life that is truly meant for you. When you are tapped in to what you truly desire, and you have those desires, you have discovered those desires within you that truly light you up, that really pull you towards it. Or like I said earlier with that anti-vision, you can also utilize, if you're feeling like you are maybe more of an away motivated person, you can also utilize that anti-vision to help you get clearer on what it is that you do want instead, which is going to be the opposite of that thing. And when you can get clarity around these desires, what feels good, what feels yummy, what feels like it lights you up in your soul, I want you to know that those desires are yours for a reason. You are going to desire a life and things that are different from what I desire. Other people watching this video are going to desire a life and things different from what you and I desire. Of course, we may have some overlapping interests or dreams or goals or desires, but ultimately your vision, your soul aligned desires, the way that you want them and the way that they all come together to create your vision is unique to you, and it is unique to you for a reason. There is a reason why you desire these things, and that reason is that you are meant to go after them. So allow yourself to dream big. Allow yourself to expand your vision, especially if you're someone who hasn't found those things that truly light up your soul yet. Allow yourself to explore beyond the boundaries that you've allowed yourself to explore up until this point. Let your vision be big. Let it be soul aligned, whatever that is to you. Do not put limitations on what you can want, because you want what you want in the way that you want it for a reason. So own that. Do yourself and do the world a favor by letting yourself own those desires that are calling at you in your soul. Trust that it is guidance from your soul, from your higher self, because there is something for you there, whether it is along the path to achieving that goal or it's in the achievement of that manifestation in itself. There is a divine reason why that desire is lighting you up so much. I always use the example of like people who are meant to be doctors have this desire to be a doctor. I don't have a desire to be a doctor because I'm not meant to be a doctor, but the people who are have it, and they should go after that. So whatever you are lit up by, regardless of what other people are going to think about it, if it lights you up, there's something for you there. And I need you to know that before we go into everything we're about to dive into now. So we're about to go on a journey of exploring the possibilities of desire. If you're someone who knows what you want, great. What is that? What does it look like? What does it feel like? I want you to paint a vivid picture of what this vision looks like and really get into the details of it. You should get into the details of this so much so that it actually evokes strong feelings from you as you're contemplating it, as you're thinking about it, as you're visualizing it and feeling into it. It should really have a very strong emotional effect on you. We'll talk more about why getting into the feelings is so important, but just know that just writing out what you want without actually getting into, like we mentioned, that why, the feelings within it, that's going to leave you with a very empty two-dimensional vision. And we want this to be deep. We want this to be juicy. We want this to be compelling. So I really want you to get into the vivid, detailed feelings as much as possible. And I'm about to take you even deeper into clarity within this vision in just a moment. But for my people who don't know what they want and don't yet have this clarity, that's not a problem, because actually you do. It's likely that you just haven't let yourself own your actual desires yet. And we do this for a plethora of reasons, but often one of these may be that we have a subconscious fear of letting ourselves want something and then never actually achieving it. I know that this is something that I've struggled with within my own self when crafting visions or tapping into what my true desires are, because it can be scary to actually open your heart in that way and be vulnerable with yourself and your true heart desires, to acknowledge what it is that truly lights you up, that truly calls to your soul, and consider the possibility that what if I don't have it? What if I don't achieve it? But what I have to say to that is the only sure way you will ever not achieve it is by not letting yourself desire it or go after it and ultimately then have it in the first place. By not letting yourself own your desire of it, you are not letting yourself be open to having it, be open to receiving it, be open to the universe delivering it to you in the infinite possibilities of ways that it can be. And listen, you don't have to tell anybody what you want. You don't have to tell anybody about your dreams and your desires that seem so big and so crazy, and you think people are going to lock you up if anybody ever hears these dreams that you're visualizing inside of your mind, okay? And I hope you're dreaming that big. Like I said in the beginning, when we don't have a clear vision, we are essentially letting all of our creator power, all of our innate manifestation power that we came here as light beings on earth in this human experience, as creators, as natural born creators and manifestors with. You are letting all that creator power just kind of disperse into the ether. You aren't laser focusing it and using it wisely to actually attract and create what you truly do desire. So you aren't protecting yourself from anything by not letting yourself desire what it is that you truly want. All that you're protecting yourself is from the experience of ever having it, the experience of ever receiving it. Because let me tell you this too. Like I mentioned before, your desires may change and evolve as you continue to align to them more, as you continue to put your manifestation power towards them more and attract more aspects or pieces of that desire to you. Your desire, what you think that desire is, may very likely evolve. But it was necessary that you allowed yourself to want and to go after and put your manifestation, your creator power behind that initial desire in order to help lead you to the other thing that is actually meant for you and that will actually bring you so much more joy, so much more fulfillment than that initial desire that you thought you wanted would. And that is a promise. So if any of this sounds familiar to you, that maybe, just maybe, there's a part of you that doesn't allow you to fully own what it is that you want because of this underlying fear of, what if I decide to let myself want it and then I never have it? We are letting that shit go now, okay? Leave it behind with this video. No longer do you not let yourself want what you want, because there's so much power behind the owning of your desires. Other subconscious factors that I just want to bring to your awareness that might be self-sabotaging you from actually getting clarity on what it is that you want. Fear of what other people will think is often a big one for people. What will people think if people know that I actually want this? What will people think about me if I actually went after this thing that I deeply want? Maybe you've heard your friends or your family make fun of people who have or do what you want. And so you've kind of buried your desire for that thing because you don't want the people that you love to judge you in that way. That makes complete and total sense. But again, bringing up that anti-vision, you may be letting that stop you now, but imagine 5 years from now, imagine 10 years from now, if you continue to let these opinions of other people stop you, where you will be. Now imagine 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if you do not continue to let these opinions of other people stop you from going after you want, and you actually go after it, where you could be, how your life could change, how it could really be that dream life that you dream of. Fear of being ostracized comes up with this as well, right? Fear of being abandoned or kicked out of the groups that you've been in before because you change, because you grow, because you evolve, because you start manifesting these things that you want that maybe doesn't align with these people that you've surrounded yourself with up until this point. Again, you need to ask yourself, is keeping these people around worth me playing small? Worth me keeping myself small? Worth me keeping myself from the level of expansion and greatness that I'm meant to have in this life? And ultimately, the people who love you, who truly, truly love you, are going to be there. They're going to support you. And the people who aren't meant to continue along with you in this next chapter, they've got to be left behind. It's a harsh reality, but it comes down to having to choose sometimes yourself and your happiness versus others and their acceptance of you. And I promise you, you will meet new friends. And these new friends will get you. They will support you. The people who are in alignment with where you're going, with who you're becoming, and who are meant to be in your life at this new level that you are stepping into now would never judge you or leave you for stepping into this level. They would support you. In fact, they would never judge you or leave you for stepping into the next level after this level. They would love you and support you and encourage you and motivate you through it. So remember that. And last subconscious self-sabotage that I just want to bring into your awareness is you may have subconscious stories running within you on what it must mean about you if you were to want that thing or have that thing. So a very common one here is when people grow up in families where it said, people with money are bad. This may subconsciously self-sabotage you from actually desiring abundance and wealth for yourself and your family moving forward. Again, it kind of takes us back to that fear of being ostracized, that fear of being abandoned, that fear of not being accepted any longer by our family if we were to manifest abundance for ourselves, or whatever it may be that you have this internal dialogue, this internal subconscious programming about of what it would mean about you, the type of person it would make you if you were to successfully achieve that thing. So I'm about to lead you in an exercise that's going to help you to gain clarity on your desires, not from a logical standpoint, but from a much deeper place. But if anything that we just covered really rings true for you, really sounds familiar, really hits you hard, I want you to make sure to take some time, maybe later tonight or after you finish the episode 1 workbook, or even maybe before you even dive into it, to dig into what's coming up for you there. Especially if you notice any truth behind any of these subconscious self-sabotage factors. And as we move on into the next exercise, you can feel that any of these may be present in the desires that we're about to uncover next. All right, so this exercise that I have for you now is for you regardless if you feel like you know what you want or you feel like you don't know what you want. Wherever you are now, I want you to expand that vision. Whatever vision you seem to have in this moment, even if it's nothing at all. I want you to begin to question your desires, stretch, distort, expand your vision a little bit so that you can explore the true infinite possibilities of desire that are available to you. I want you to leave this video with a completely new perspective on what you really want and a new sense of alignment to what you want to manifest. So we're going to do this little exercise so you can really see what I mean by this. So if you're somewhere where you can close your eyes, go ahead and do that. But if you're not, no problem. You can just listen and visualize along as we go. So I just want you to take a second to completely release and empty yourself of any preconceived notions of yourself or your life or what's possible for you. And I just want you to take on this blank canvas of being. So you're just going to completely release any history of your past, any awareness of your future, and just be completely blank right here, right now with me. Imagine that you were just plopped into this moment, into this body, and you have no awareness for anything else but just you right now in this moment and your feelings. You don't have any recollection of stories or beliefs of why you can't be or do or have something. You don't have any concepts of yourself or other people that are keeping you tied to a certain way of being, keeping you tied to the person that you've been up until now. There is no you up until now. There is no one else. It's just you right here, right now, a complete blank canvas to work with. You're just here, you're just now. There's no history of your past or your beliefs or even your likes or dislikes or your desires even. Everything is starting new right now in this moment, a complete blank canvas. Now again, without specifics, and wait until I finish what I'm saying, but I want you to practice tapping into these feelings quickly by beginning to think about something that is in alignment to you, something that is in soul alignment with your higher self. And make this really broad. Remember, we aren't getting into the specifics here. So broad in the way that you are tapping into the feeling of love or the feeling of gratitude. And you are imagining as you tap into and align and consider this feeling, this desire of love or gratitude more and more, you are attracting more of it to you. So go ahead and do that and imagine yourself attracting more of that feeling to you. Then notice any feelings or sensations that begin to show up for you as you imagine yourself attracting more of this love or gratitude to you. Notice what these feelings or sensations are like, and also notice where you are feeling them within your body and how you're feeling them. Okay, feel free to pause me if you need another second with that. But those feelings, those sensations that came up for you and where and how you felt them is a good indicator of how it will likely feel for you when you are actually contemplating, when you are actually sitting with and imagining, attracting, manifesting more of something into your life that is truly a soul aligned desire. So, truly something that is fulfilling and in alignment to your real self, your highest self, your most expansive self. A desire that is truly coming from the heart, truly coming from the soul, and not one that is coming from the ego. So for me, when I align to things that are truly soul aligned, when I'm feeling into desires and when I know it's something that I'm meant to go after, or when I receive a download or a ping to do something, go somewhere, say something, the way that I know that it is truly soul aligned, that it is coming from my soul, is I will often feel it in my solar plexus, and I'll feel it like butterflies. So when I'm thinking about my desires and they are desires that are truly soul aligned, I'll feel butterflies kind of in my stomach. Or when I receive a download or a ping that is truly soul aligned and truly something that I'm meant to go after and meant to go do, I'll often feel it like a bolt of energy, a bolt of excitement, almost like I took a shot of caffeine. But however you feel it, however you experience it is absolutely perfect. And that is your way of your intuition speaking to you and letting you know, like, yes, this is it. This is good. Go after it. Now, on the flip side, I want you to just for a second, don't worry, this will just be for a second. I want you to begin to think about and associate to something that you absolutely don't want, something that you know that you do not want to manifest more of into your life. Maybe this is like a feeling of not achieving your goals, a feeling of lack, a feeling of insecurity, maybe feeling unsafe or feeling fearful. So how in the last exercise, I didn't want you to think of a specific desire. If there is something that you specifically know that you don't want, you can get into the specifics here. Or like I said, a more broader example like lack, insecurity, fear. So I just want you to bring up that thing just for a moment, don't worry, and just really hone in on it. Make it stronger as you focus more and more on that thing and begin to notice the feelings and the sensations that are beginning to come up with that thing, where you are feeling these feelings and these sensations, and how you're feeling them. So for me, I feel this feeling of like dread, of heaviness, and I feel it as a tightness in my chest, and my breathing begins to get a little shallow. Okay, now I want you to go ahead and break state. So I just want you to look up with your eyes, point your eyes upward towards the ceiling, and go ahead and kind of shake it out a little bit. And this is going to help you to disconnect from those negative feelings and just let them out, okay? Now just note what you felt, and you may want to write this down, because where, how, and what sensations and feelings came up for you there is a good indicator of what it may feel like when you are focusing on something that is not in alignment with you, that is something that is actually not an aligned desire. So again, this exercise is just a good indicator of understanding how your intuition communicates with you. These feelings can be very subtle, especially when we're just moving through our daily life. A lot of times we aren't actually tapped in the way you might have just been in becoming aware of what sensations are coming up and where we're feeling them. But now that you have this awareness of how and where certain sensations and feelings come up for you when you are focused on and aligning to and attracting more of things that are truly in soul alignment to you. And also now you have this awareness of when you are dysregulated or moving out of alignment or focused on things that are out of alignment. This simple exercise of just gaining this awareness this one time will help you to recognize it more easily as you're moving through your life, even if you're not being super tapped into your senses the way that you just were. And now before we move on, I just want you to tap back into those good feelings of love or gratitude again and just realign there so we can bring you back into that high vibration, and just notice how quickly you can shift back into that. And know that this shift is available to you at all times, and these vibrations of love or gratitude, you can train yourself to just shift back into again and again by just practicing becoming aware of what you're focused on, where your attention's at, where your energy is focused, and just having your baseline to always bring it back to gratitude, which will quickly shift your vibration. And know too that as you're feeling these feel good feelings, know that that is a vibrational frequency that not only are you feeling within yourself, but you're also sending it out. You are emitting that frequency, and like a magnet, you are magnetizing back things of the like frequency to you now as you're doing it right here. It's like you're sending out this call signal for more things to love and more things to feel grateful for. And that vibration is being sent out, is being received by like vibrations, and they're just being drawn to you as you are doing it right now. Okay, so now that you have this baseline of understanding of what it feels like when you are aligning to something that is truly soul aligned to you, and when you are focused on or thinking about or aligning to something that isn't soul aligned to you, I want you to just take it back to being that blank canvas again. And I want you to begin to explore the possibilities of desire that are available to you. And these possibilities are endless. So I just want you to trust whatever your intuition might be bringing up for you right now. Don't judge whatever desires may come up for you. And I just want you to sort of try them on. Explore these different possibilities of desire. Explore these different visions, these different ways that your life could look, these different wants, these different things that you could be, do, or have. And I just want you to play around in this portal with this blank canvas and one by one kind of try these things on. Again, letting whatever might be intuitively coming up for you come up, and try it on without any judgment, without shutting yourself down. Maybe you'll even think of some random interests or dreams that you had back in your childhood that you let go of, that you began to shut down as you grew up because you just felt like it wasn't possible for you. Just have fun playing around and experimenting in this space, in this portal of possibilities for desire. And notice what comes up for you on a feeling, on a sensation level with each thing that you try on. You may even find that as you explore the things that you thought that you wanted, so maybe the vision or some of the desires that you started with when you started this video, you may find that as you actually feel into them, as you actually consciously try them on, they don't feel all that aligned to you. Maybe they bring up that tightness in your chest like I experience. An example of this for me has recently been living in a big city. So I currently live in Los Angeles. I've lived in Los Angeles for almost 10 years, and it's always been a part of my vision to have my dream home in LA. But as I would feel into that desire lately, it hasn't been feeling like those butterflies in my solar plexus that tell me that I'm moving in alignment. And actually it's begun to show up as this tightness, this constrictedness in my chest and in my heart. And that is my sign, my intuitive feeling symbol that it's out of alignment. So what a shock to me to realize that something that I have wanted or thought I wanted for years is actually not in alignment for me anymore at this time in my life, at this chapter. And that's not to say that this desire may not come back and be soul aligned for me later on, but what this is telling me now is that there's something else for me right now during this phase of my life that is more aligned, that I am meant to go after, that I desire more deeply and will be more fulfilling to my soul than LA. TBD on that, because I'm not clear on what exactly that is. But like I mentioned, and like I'll mention a bit more as we move on, you don't need to have total clarity. You just need to have an outline, this vision that can help you in heading in the right direction. Okay, so now after you've done this and you've felt into, you've tried on different possibilities of desire, and you've taken note of what feelings, what sensations are coming up for you as you feel into and explore them more deeply, I want you to create even more clarity for yourself around these desires and ultimately the vision for the next level life that you are manifesting now. Again, the workbook is going to help guide you through all of this so much more. but there are some notes that I just want to give to you here. Quickly, as promised, a note on clarity. This, I think a lot of you will find very, very useful. If you are familiar with human design, you may already know about specific versus non-specific manifestors, but if you aren't, I'm gonna put you on. So you know how I just mentioned, I don't know exactly where the next place I'm going to live is. I just know that it feels in alignment to me to move somewhere new and doesn't feel in alignment to me to buy a home in LA at this phase of my life in this current chapter, but I don't know where I'm going to go next. I'm a non-specific manifestor. So what this means is that when I'm manifesting, it's much more effective and powerful for me and feels a lot more aligned for me in the process when I don't get so hardcore into the details. I more focus on the big picture. So in this case, knowing that I'm going to move somewhere else, but not knowing exactly where, or even the big picture feelings. So in another example, this may be somebody doesn't know exactly what they want to do. And this was me at one point when I manifested Arcanum LA, my crystal jewelry brand, and Arcanum Academy, my courses like Scale. When I first was manifesting my soul aligned businesses, I didn't know exactly what they would be, but I knew how I wanted them to feel. I knew the fulfillment and the energy that I wanted to come from them and that I wanted to express from myself into them. I knew the overall energetic concept, I think is a good way to put it, but I didn't know the specifics of what it would look like or what it would be. Again, I'm a non-specific manifestor. Now, a specific manifestor is going to feel really good getting into those nitty-gritty details. Maybe when they're manifesting a house, they know exactly the street they want to live on. They know exactly the number of rooms. They know exactly the style. And getting into these details gives them energy. It lights them up. It pulls them towards their vision more and more and entices them more towards it. Where with a non-specific manifestor, this could become very overwhelming and kind of shut them down in the manifestation process and make them not really want to move forward because they're just so overwhelmed by it. You may find too that you're in some ways a mix of both. I know sometimes I really love getting super specific with my manifestations, but in general, I like to keep it more leaned back. I like to keep it more on the realm of this or something better and really lean into the energy of what I'm manifesting. I might have some ideas of what it might look like, but I like the universe to kind of fill in those blanks for me. Now, here's how you can check if you are a specific or a non-specific manifestor. You are going to pull up your human design chart online. There's a ton of different places you can find this. And like in this example right here, if the bottom arrow points to the left, you are specific. And if the bottom arrow points to the right, you are non-specific. There are so many other layers of human design as well that can be extremely useful for you and how you uniquely manifest and are most successful in your manifestations. And we go very deep into this in my program Scale. We even have this thing called your Scale Playbook. And within it, there's a whole page that you craft and create uniquely for yourself that has your human design aspects that are going to play a big role in your manifestation to help guide you along the way. So if you're interested in learning more about that, definitely get on the Scale waitlist because human design can be such a cheat code, not just for manifestation, but in living a life that really is aligned to your most authentic self and creating success in a way that feels best to you throughout the entire process. So that's why it's highlighted in Scale, because Scale is all about creating soul-aligned success in a sustainable way that works with you and for you. Another way that I want you to work to get more clarity on your visions and your desires is to really work on painting that picture. Like I mentioned earlier, when I talked about if you know what you want, I want you to paint a vivid picture that evokes strong feelings for you. Whether you're a specific or a non-specific manifestor, this is very important to do, and it's very important to tap into the feelings, okay? So even if you're not getting into the nitty-gritty details of what everything looks like, get into the feelings so deeply that it's actually bringing out these strong feelings out of you now. It's evoking strong feelings from you as you're thinking about or writing about this vision and these desires. So some exercises that will help you with this is scripting a day in the life. This is one of my favorite things to do for manifestation, and especially in evoking and getting in alignment with that frequency of the vision that I'm manifesting. So again, even if you don't know the specifics, you can really get into the feelings of what does it feel like as you're living that day in your life. What do you feel like when you wake up? What are you doing? Right now we're getting more into the details, but walk us through a day in the life in detail, really tapping into those feelings as if you are writing a very detailed, very feeling oriented journal entry from the day after. So you want to write this in past tense because your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between real or imagined. So your subconscious mind is going to experience you scripting this day in the life of your next level vision that you are manifesting now as if it has already lived it, which is amazing for familiarizing your subconscious mind with this vision, which is a massive part of manifestation and regulation with these new desires, this new sense of self, and this new life that you are manifesting. More on that soon though. Another way to help you to paint the picture and to just get really connected to this vision is, of course, to make a vision board. Now, a little hack with vision boards, I don't like to over clutter them. I want it to be very clear to you what each thing represents so that you're not just overwhelmed when you look at this vision board. You're really able to identify what each desire, what each thing is on that vision board. And as you look at it every day, really look at each thing and energetically align to it. So really feel into that experience of that thing or what that thing is and what it feels like to be, do, or have it, and get that frequency, get that vibration flowing through you now in the same way that we did right when we aligned to those feelings of love or gratitude. I want you to evoke whatever feelings you associate, whatever vibrations you associate in alignment with that thing that you're manifesting on your vision board. All right, and that is episode 1 of our 3-week mini-series scale challenge. By now, you should have a lot of clarity on your vision. You should have a complete new perspective on desires, and you've even discovered a new trick on how to know when something is soul aligned and coming from your intuition or when you are moving unaligned. If you haven't already, make sure that you look in the episode notes for the episode 1 workbook and be sure to work through that over the next week before episode 2 comes out. Reminder as well that you can win complete full free access into this next round of scale by completing the challenge and following the challenge rules. These rules will also be listed for you in the workbook as well. And if you have not already, definitely get on, I can't with my cat's tail. And if you have not already, definitely get on this scale waitlist so that you don't miss out with any other special surprises that we may have going on during the launch or before. So I will link that down below for you too. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Interact in the comments. Let's make this a manifestation portal. Let me know what came up for you while doing these exercises. Let me know what comes up for you after working through the workbook. Let me know what soul-aligned visions and desires you're now manifesting. I want to hear it all, and I want to cheer you on the entire way. And with that, I am sending you so much love, so much good energy, and I will see you next week for episode 2, all about your next level self identity and embodying it now. Bye.